Happy Monday. Hello, hello. End of March. We're almost done with March Madness, which is a sad feeling. But Cup of
Yeah.
Sports here in the morning with you nonetheless. How are we feeling, AJ? We're down to four final teams.
Yeah. Final four teams. Had some racing this weekend. A little bit of hockey. So it's a good
And,
weekend.
and still no football.
USFL.
Well, technically, yeah,
I
USFL. That
did
is true. We,
watch
we
one game.
we had it on for a brief moment, then I went back to basketball.
Yeah. My grandfather asked me about it. I visited them this evening, and he was like, he's like, "Do you watch that?" And I was like, "It'll be a few weeks before I watch. Like once college basketball ends, and it's really
Yeah,
like
there's
just
really
NASCAR,
nothing
and
else
there's
on. Yeah,
yeah." Like I was like, I'll watch on a Saturday, sure. Like I have no
yeah,
problem doing that. I was like,
yeah.
it's really just like watching college football with a
Kinda,
little bit
yeah.
older guys.
Yep.
So, um,
Dudes that are a little more desperate to make it this time, kind
yeah,
of thing. Yeah, they don't have their whole life ahead of them anymore.
yeah, exactly. But I have a quick question for you here. What
Hit me with
is
it.
your favorite season, as in the time of year?
See, like as a dad, I would be like more prone to say winter, but I fucking hate winter. Like being a family man and a dad, like I enjoy getting everybody together and the Thanksgiving, like that Christmas smell, the pike is packed and everybody's got Christmas trees in their window. Like I love the aura of that, but I hate the actual fucking logistics of it. Like
Huh?
everything's
You
cold, my
you want to
face
move to the
hurts.
southern hemisphere?
Yes, dude, like Christmas in Florida is
Finding
the best,
no
dude.
no
I
no
miss it.
no 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 southern
You're southern
hemisphere.
hemisphere,
I'm
hemisphere.
talking summer temperatures and Christmas. Blew my
Yes, dude,
mind
I
when I
could
found out
take
that
it.
like Australian Santa wears like swimsuits.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They're just like chilling,
mind
and
blowing.
that was something for us. We had to drive like an hour and a half north to Georgia to get a Christmas tree. Like people down in Florida don't have Christmas tree farms, and for me, I was
Right.
like, we had like five different companies near us at home that you could go to. Like we went to Burnt House Bridge because it was right down the road, but there's 10 other ones in Carlisle, plus all the Boy Scouts and shit that's set
Yeah,
up around the
fire
grocery
halls.
stores. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, you get a Christmas tree fucking anywhere. No, there people in Florida were like, we don't do that. Like, you don't. You just order a fake one. Like, why would you have a real tree in your house? You're gonna have lizards and snakes. And we were like, that's crazy. Like we got to go get one. So, yeah, we had driven a while for it, and then even then too, like you're driving there, those people are just like, oh, Dylan Brooks and KD getting chippy. Um, Interesting. Yeah, I'm watching the Rockets Suns game right now. The Rockets are up big right now, and KD and Dylan Brooks are getting into it, and then Dylan Brooks is such a fucking villain though. Oh,
Oh.
and Dylan Brooks just got ejected. Okay, he got real hype and got ejected. That was crazy. Okay, shit got real hype. Anyway, so yeah, so for me, yeah, like winter has its perks because of the holidays. Fall
Sure.
has its perks because it's football. Spring has its perk because I'm out of fucking winter. But like, ultimately, spring is just kind of like the most boring in a way. Like we're end of football season. Like basketball's here, March Madness is kind of here, and golf is here. But like for me, summer is always going to reign supreme. Like you give me 100+ degree weather and it's humid and my balls are sweaty. Like I don't
Ick.
care. Yeah, I don't care. Like especially if you take out like, oh, fall has football season and winter has holidays. Like if you're
Sure.
strictly just talking when you wake up, what's your favorite day? From fucking like June 1st to August 30th, like I wake up and I'm just so excited to be alive because it's 100 degrees outside. Like nothing makes me more excited. When I wake up and it's 12 degrees out, I want to just go
You're
back to
out of your
bed and die.
mind.
I don't want anything to do with life at all. I just want to go back to sleep. As soon as I wake up and I go, holy fucking shit, I just want to go back to sleep. I just want to go back to sleep. That's all there is. So yeah, so for me, summer has to be the best season, just like overall, like regardless of bugs and hot and swamp ass and everything and lack of football. Like I just love me some summer. You can just do everything. You have the availability to do anything except for ice fishing, but like otherwise, you have everything you can possibly need.
Yeah.
I feel like for you, it's got to be winter though. I feel like the ice fishing reigns supreme, like
Winter.
holidays and ice fishing. Like,
Yes, winter is it for me. I particularly enjoy getting outside in winter more just because it is colder, as you mentioned. Just
just
that
doesn't
like
even sound
that
appealing.
like knowing that it's cold and being like warm in your coat, like that's just such a nice cozy feeling.
I am very
And like
2025 in this and saying this. My mom mentioned this year that one of her friends got her an electric jacket for work because she's always
oh,
cold. And I
super
was like,
super popular this year.
interesting. Yeah, if I could have like a onesie that was like heated by batteries and I just was warm as fuck, like if I was like
Yeah.
almost
It's
sweating in 10-degree
that's
weather,
it.
then
It's
like
the
I'm kind of
vest.
listening. Like I'm
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
the battery
listening.
pack vest. That's what guys
Yeah,
are
that might be
wearing
what she
now.
has. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm kind of listening then, because like Okay, like if I can kind of sweat in cold weather, like I'm listening, like when it's cold enough and like you're running around, like playing football, like football season, like when it's cold, when
Yeah.
you're running, you're like, all right, this ain't so bad. But like, dude, December, January, like where your fingers are fucking like this, like that shaking feeling, and like you're just like you can't even fucking move. Like, you're trying to hold your hot chocolate and shit. Like I hate that so much. So like yeah, if I could cheat and be warm during
If I could cheat.
like if I could cheat and be warm during winter, then like yeah, I'm kind of more for winter. But
Okay.
see, like that's your thing though. Is like you're prioritizing the ice fishing or like the holiday season. Like if it's just the
No, not
fact of
even.
like
I enjoy the weather more. I
you
enjoy
enjoy just it
snow.
being cold and just
I
driving to work in the
yes.
cold.
I
Yeah, see,
enjoy
fuck all
no
that.
bugs.
Like, yeah,
I
fuck that.
I love it.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
I
all
said,
that for
that
me.
that like going outside and like it's cold as shit and like your face is kind of cold because it's not protected, but like everything else is warm because you're nice and bundled
You're out
up.
of
And
your. You are
I
out.
I'm
You are
I'm in
clinically
heaven,
insane. Yeah, you are
heaven.
clinically insane. I need you checked out. I need your
It's
basement. I need
just
bodies searched for in
incredible.
your property. I'm
Um,
sending the FBI to your house because that's crazy.
but I will say that I think spring is probably my least favorite,
Yeah, spring just seems to be
and
kind of a weird one.
it's just because my favorite season has ended, and now I'm ready to just be warm. Like I'm ready
Yes,
to
and
just
it's
get
this
into
back and forth
summer and just
bullshit.
do
My
it.
allergies are
And yes,
fucked.
that's
Like,
it.
yeah, Easter I could
Like
give a fuck about. Like, yeah, it's
we
Memorial
could
Days, and like I want. Like people are like, oh, the pool open. I'm like, cool. It's still 21 degrees. I need it to be summer, so it's hot, and I want to jump in the cold water. Like I don't want it
for
to
the
be
record,
kind
he's
of warm
talking
out.
about Fahrenheit, not Celsius.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, facts. Yeah. Like yeah. Why would I be talking about Celsius AJ America? I watched a Bald Eagle video earlier this week, and then dude
Freedom
shredded the
units.
flesh off of a fucking freedom units. He shredded the freedom units off of that fish. It was wild.
Um, yeah, I
But
don't
yeah,
know. I
so
just
fall
spring
for football, winter for
the
you for ice fishing and that cold feel, summer for me for the
yeah
activities and the things you can do outside. Spring just sucks. Yeah, spring is
yeah
just also as dog owners.
oh
My fucking
mud
floor, dude. My
yes
fucking floor. My poor fucking floor, dude. Like, yeah,
yeah
like every other day the boys want to go outside, and one day I'm like, yeah, it's 70, let's go outside in our shorts and t-shirt, and then the next day it's 41
yeah.
degrees and raining, and I'm
Well,
like, we're
I
not
was
going
just about
outside
to
all
mention that
week, dog.
Saturday at my house, it was 82 degrees. It was beautiful, amazing, 82 degrees,
Tomorrow's gonna
wonderful.
suck. Yeah.
Tomorrow night's low is 35
Yeah,
degrees.
like, dude, I'm gonna
I'm like,
wake up
what are we
Tuesday and
doing?
go, like, that's my Tuesday
Yeah,
morning, is I'm gonna wake up and be like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
he's planning a stuffy nose already.
Dude, I might as well call off for a sinus infection now. Like Tuesday through Friday, I'm fucked this week. Like it's just all there is to it.
Fair enough.
So, all right. Well, speaking of no football,
Yeah,
we
no
are so
football.
we're crawling. 2 weeks
Uh,
from today, we have football.
yeah, we get the NFL draft. Round one will start. So that's exciting. Figure out what's going on. Uh,
That'll
yeah, we'll
hopefully help
have
a
some
lot of moving
trades in there, I'm
pieces.
sure,
Yep.
and then yeah, just see who gets who lands where.
A couple final
Um,
pieces, and maybe even
yeah,
some big names get moved for draft pieces, and it's rare, but it happens. And if
right,
any year it's gonna happen, it feels like it'd be this year. There's just a
yeah,
lot of things fucking moving.
right.
So,
So
but yeah, so I'm
we're
pumped, man.
getting
It's gonna be
there, and
exciting.
we did mention the USFL was back.
Yep.
Is it
Didn't watch
it's
enough
the
to.
USFL, right? I think I have
Yeah,
that
I think
right.
so. Yeah. United States
Yeah,
Football
United
League.
States Football League. Yeah. I did watch
Ooh.
a little bit of the one game, but I really didn't watch
Yeah,
it at
not enough to
all.
be like, oh, review. Yeah, I
Yeah,
watched football and basketball this week, or I watched racing and
yeah.
basketball this weekend. That was about it. So,
For what it's worth, Fox hasn't even updated their website to
dog.
reflect the new season, so
Wow,
I
Devin
don't
Booker
really
back-to-back turnovers.
feel
Not
that
looking
bad.
good. Katie's pouting. They're down 23 points. Devin Booker back-to-back turnovers. Now Katie's pouting. Love that. Yeah, I again agree. Yeah, I did not watch enough, and it doesn't seem like anybody else even covers it enough for them to
Oh,
want to
I'm wrong.
watch.
It is now the UFL. Yes,
Just
I was right.
UFL,
UFL. Yeah,
straight UFL.
I think it's United Football League.
That's interesting twist.
Yeah. Yep. So there were 4 games this weekend, another 4 games next weekend. So yeah, for what it's worth, it low scoring, basically like your AAA football. Like
It's your product if you really want to have something on.
yeah,
I had the boys locked in enough to March Madness to not need to be like, let's watch this. Like it was
yeah.
just they're
Few weekends
those
yet,
are
then it'll come by.
Joe's rooting for Florida right now because as soon as I said Florida, he was like, we were there, and I was like, yes, we were. And then yesterday we were rooting hard for Alabama because again, I was like,
does he
this
have
is
the
the only.
Gators?
Yeah, I did. I told him. He said he keeps calling them the alligators. He's like the Florida
Oh.
alligators. So I'm like, there's just something about that that sounds so wrong.
It
Like,
does
they're
sound
not the
so
alligators.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm like the Florida Gators. Like they're not the alligators.
Yeah.
He's like, did the alligators win? And I'm like, dude, they're the Gators. Stop calling them that. All right.
For what it's worth,
Talk
the only
Go
thing I
ahead.
do have, the
Yeah,
tush push vote.
Talk to me about touching other people's butts.
Yep, the brotherly shove, if you're in Philadelphia, is up for a ban vote this Tuesday at the league meetings for the NFL.
I saw there's some support behind it.
So there is some support, but the way it has to pass, assuming Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles, does not vote in support of the ban, we need 8 other owners to vote against the ban. So that's it. You need 9 people total, and then it doesn't get banned. So assuming one of them is the Eagles, you need 8 other teams to be like, no, this is dumb. So presumably the Buffalo Bills are going to be one.
Because
What's that dude's name? Pagula that owns them because they can, but they're the team that ran it the second most in the NFL this year.
Yeah, that's it. You get other people that found success in it or that are looking for success in it, or even the teams that have a way to stop it are going to be like, fuck yeah, let them run it. We figured out a way to stop it.
You did. That's hopefully 2. And then Nick Sirianni today spoke to the media and was like, look, Gannon, Steichen, and Moore, who are now all head coaches because of that play, should all be voting in support of this.
True,
So that's hopefully 5.
Yeah.
And then you just need 3 other random teams that are like.
But there is definitely that possibility that one of them on the coaching staff was like, "This is fucking stupid. We shouldn't be doing this," and now they're voting against it. But hopefully speaking, that's 5.
But,
and then
so I'm hopeful that we get all 5 of those and another random 4 teams to jump in. But yeah, it's just like this is the 3rd year now that it's been brought up. It hasn't passed the first 2, so like I'm very torn on this subject because I was gonna ask, like, if you
weren't an Eagles fan, how would I feel? Like you strike me as the person that would be like, that's bullshit. Like I like that. I feel like because like you're someone who like play by the rules and stuff. Like I catch that on you, but I also catch like loopholes are not your cup of tea. Like play by the fucking rules and don't be a dick about it. But also you strike me as if it's a loophole and they didn't write it, like they should have put it in policy. Like they should have thought about it to begin with. So like they're exploiting their strength, but also like it's weird. And so I was wondering how you felt on it. Like as an Eagles fan, you're biased, but
I'm super biased.
Because it works. So
I can only speak in hypotheticals because obviously I'm very biased. But I think if it was like another team running it and it's the same situation where like they're one of the only teams doing it in the league with such success, then I can't fault them for that.
True.
What's the difference between having Tyreek run a go route on every play and just I'm going to chuck it to him. I'm going to chuck it deep to him every play. I'm going to drop back and just throw a bomb to him every play. Now I get you can put people back and like, sure, that's defense, but like we don't get it every play. So there are people stopping it, but like you're not going to stop Tyreek running by your entire defense every play.
I honestly think that I've never really put the thought into it until just now. I think that like this is my Madden plug for the episode. I haven't had one in a long time, but so I think my Madden moment for this episode is that like the way they build, like if you remember early Madden days, like mid 2000s, you could do the creative play shit. Like you could only put people certain places. Like they have like that grid, and it's like you put the 5 squares in for your linemen, and then you gotta like a tight end here or a tight end there. Then the laws come in of like, okay, we can only have so many people on the line, and 2 on one side and 1 on that side. If you're running trips, 1 has to be behind, and like 1 has to be here and 1 has to be here and 1 has to be here, like in a triangle. 1 has to be within a step of the line of scrimmage. 1 has to be 2 steps off. So like in my head, I have always thought that like behind the line of scrimmage was like a red zone. Like you could only have a quarterback under snap or under center, a quarterback in shotgun, and then a running back to either side of him in shotgun. And then if he's under center, you could have an I formation fullback and an I formation halfback, or 2 twin tailbacks. That was it. So like to me, it was like, this is an illegal formation to start. Like, how do you have people behind you? Like, but then also like the kneel play,
Yep, that's
kneel when you
exactly
run it
it.
men, when you
Yeah.
run it kneel, you have that setup, and so
Yeah.
it's like they might not be able to, they might not want to or ban the tush push, but I feel like they could just enforce more formation laws to be like, nobody should be lined up behind the guards unless it's a kneel. Nobody should be lined
Right.
up with between the quarterback and where the fullback should be, which is 2 steps or whatever. Like, that's how they would enforce it, to be like, no one should be allowed here. Not just, hey, you can't push him from behind, because that's always going to happen when that person hits and that fucking 300-pound lineman is coming running full speed. They clear the fucking pile
Yeah.
every time. So like the logic of the push is always going to be there. But if the person isn't right behind him, you eliminate the tush push. So like, to me, it was always like, you couldn't even do that. But then the
Yeah.
kneel was the only way to do it. Or like
Right.
lining up for the spike. Like when you're tapping the Y button to try to like hurry up offense, and you accidentally hit square when we were back playing a PlayStation
Yeah.
back in the day, and you line up in a spike, and you're like, motherfucker, I'm gonna burn a timeout, because it doesn't let you audible out of a spike, which is
Yeah.
also separate rant, the most annoying thing ever. Let me fucking switch at it. Like, if I want to change from a field goal kick to a fucking I formation pitch, my kicker better hit that fucking pitch, Ronnie Bass. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't be allowed to switch. Like, when I hit the audible and only 2 plays are available, and they're like, no, pick from these 2, I get so fucking mad. But anyway, I digress. I feel like that is the answer there, where like the spike has a specific formation and everyone has to be in a certain spot. The field goal unit has a certain unit. Like, that would be the way that, again, I'm not even saying that I agree with eliminating it, but this would be the way that the NFL could be like, we're not saying no tush pushes, but you can't line up directly behind the quarterback
Right.
and push him. And so it's like, you'd have to get
To be
unique
fair,
and have the fullback
I
do it or
think-
whatever else. But
To be fair, if you actually read
which I don't.
the change, the rule suggestion,
Yeah, I was
it's
gonna
like
say, what are they
you
actually
can't-
suggesting?
you can the rule is you can't push the player who lines up behind the center and immediately receives the ball after the snap. Like,
Yes, yeah, I
it's
hate
very
that,
specific
because what
to
if
like
it's a
literally just the tush push.
It's an intended inside run. He's going to say hike. He's going to turn to his right and hand it off to the running back to go in there. They fumble the snap. Now he has it, and the running back sees that. The
Right.
quarterback tries to push. What's the running back supposed to do?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to push him. Yeah,
I'm
it's
not allowed
like
to push him. Push
or
his ass,
that, or like a fullback dive and the running back just runs in behind him.
yeah,
But like that's okay
push his ass
because
yeah, push
that's
his ass.
okay
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we handed the ball off to the fullback.
Right.
Yeah,
it's essentially a QB sneak with the extra push. So that's where I
Yeah.
think for me, like if you line up in the I formation, that's like where I'm thinking too mad. You have your I formation, you got your quarterback, fullback, halfback. If you want to do that, then sure. Like, because you're running a normal formation, but then you just happen to be doing a quarterback sneak kind of deal. Like,
Yeah,
push away, but like to have the 2 right behind him, like you're lining up kind of like a QB kneel and then running it. Like,
yeah,
again, not even agreeing or disagreeing, because I usually don't take a stance unless I have like a strong feeling about it. This
Right.
is like I could give a fuck. Like, until the Broncos lose a game to the Eagles on a fucking touch push, I'm not gonna care. But as of now, like, yeah, I feel like if the NFL just wanted to be like, we're not banning the tush push, completely unrelated though, we have some new stipulations for formations. That would be the way that they could eliminate it and make everybody happy except for the Eagles. But
yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. What did you say it is? They're voting on Tuesday
They're
to
voting on
determine whether or
Tuesday,
not
yeah.
it's allowed. To be honest, I hope they deny that, not just to benefit your Eagles, but based on that verbiage. I hate that verbiage of not being allowed to push the quarterback or the person who immediately receives the ball or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that feels dumb, because that's going to get construed in a wrong way at some point. Somebody at the Chiefs
Right.
are going to have a fumbled snap. Patty Mahomes is going to get pushed into the end zone, and people are going to be like, that's a tush push. There should have been a penalty, but there wasn't. And like, that's what will end up happening, is there's going to be either a penalty will be called and it shouldn't have been, or a penalty won't be called and it technically should have been based on that rule change. So yeah, I think for me, I'm wishing it's more of a formation logistics and rule change than it is an actual don't push that guy rule change, because it's fucking football. Push everybody. Like, you should not be pushing somebody at some point in the play.
Yeah. So for what it's worth, I am slightly disappointed if it gets banned, but I'm also ecstatic because like the Eagles developed and executed a play at such high efficiency that the rest of the NFL was like, nah, you can't do that anymore.
It becomes the
Like,
Jalen Hurts rule. Like,
yeah.
that's what it's called.
Right.
It becomes the Hurts Kelsey rule.
Yeah.
Like, even though Kelsey isn't playing, like, it becomes the Hurts
Yeah.
the Hurts Kelsey 2025 law. Like,
Yes. Like,
We have a Hurts-Kelsey penalty on the offense. They push the quarterback into the end zone, 15 yards. Like, that's what it becomes, is the Hurts-Kelsey penalty. So, yeah, good for them. Good for you guys. But, all right. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's about it for football is butt stuff and draft day. That's about all we had this week. Butt stuff and draft day. Butt stuff, I hope, can make it into our title if we don't get banned for that. So yeah, aside from that though, currently watching, I am anyway, the Rockets-Suns game. It's halftime. The Rockets are killing them. It's 78-49, so up 29 points right now on the KD Suns. Right now though, yeah, we're kind of in end game. We got a little bit of time left. Just saw the commercial for it. April 15th is the start of the playoffs, so we got 16-ish days left, minus the few because they take a break. So yeah, we're in crunch time now for NBA playoffs. It's happening. Since we talked last, nothing really crazy has happened. Everyone's kind of vibing as is. Tonight, though, Pistons and the Wolves are playing, got into a huge fight. I saw the notification come through and was like, oh, let me go do a little dive and see what happened here or why. Straight up, no reason at all. Naz Reid was just on some bullshit. Dude dribbles down the lane, goes up for a layup, gets fouled. Normal foul, no aggression, no extracurricular, nothing. Like, the commentators even said that they were like, there must have been shit talking going on prior to that because, like, what the fuck started this?
On the sidelines.
Yes, dude, let me hear what's going on.
I want to know.
Yeah, I want to know what's happening. Because, like, literally, he goes up for a layup, and dude just, like, hits his arms, like, gently, he drops the ball, turns around and, like, throws up the face in his fucking hand, and is like, don't you fucking do that again. Immediately, like, somebody else tries to get in between him. That dude gets pushed, so that dude pushes him, and now everyone clears. Coaches got kicked out, players got kicked out, so, like, it was a whole thing. But, yeah, again, let me hear the mic, because I want to know what happened. But otherwise, Naz Reid was just on some bullshit tonight. Just wanted to fight somebody. He got fouled and said, now's the time. Aside from that, the Cavs get their 60th win, which is the first time that they've ever done that without LeBron James, which is just insane. Like, what a terrible franchise. Like, they're finally in some success without LeBron. But yeah, other than that, everyone, the standings I looked from last episode really have not changed at all. The Suns and the Mavs and the Lakers all kind of shifted a spot. The Mavs on the way down. Suns are kind of stagnant in that spot. And then the Lakers swap with the Nuggets again. But other than that, I mean, 1, 2, 3 on both sides are pretty much secured. So, yeah, we're 2 weeks out from playoff basketball. It's finally here, but I'm excited.
March Madness ends and NBA playoffs begins.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good time. It's a weird time right now because it's like football season happens and you're used to Thursday to Sunday, and then you have off days like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's just like you're kind of bored and you're waiting for it. You get Monday night.
Makes it easy to podcast schedule.
Yeah, facts. And then because there's so much shit going on now, we're squeezing shit in and trying to make an episode. But like with that, but like the NBA, like from that point in like November until pretty much like 2 weeks ago, it's just like shit is just popping off nonstop. Like you have football, basketball, college football, college basketball, NASCAR's coming, the Super Bowl's coming, like everything is just happening. And then as soon as like the beginning of March rolls around, like we talked about at the beginning of the episode, spring just fucking sucks. Like, you get like March is like the dullest of the sports seasons because it's like you have March Madness, but other than that, if it wasn't for that,
opening day?
But what about opening day? Yeah, this team went 1-0. Only 151 games to go. Like, cool. Like
181.
I love the idea of like the odds changing day one. Like, well, the Dodgers won that game. They're probably gonna win the fucking World Series. It's like, dude, there's like that's a fucking school year away from the World Series. Like anything could happen in that time. So the NBA, we're March is always in like a weird spot, but we're at the end of March now, so we're heading into April. We get the playoffs, and then it is summertime. Summer sports take a little bit of a break, but we're getting back to our football. So, speaking of nothing happening in baseball, tell me about it.
Yeah. The only thing I have of note is, and this is solely because I'm on Reddit of Philly sports. Philly fans took over Washington Nationals. The Phillies had an away series to start the season in Washington. And Philly fans basically took over all 3 games and were like having Eagles chants and Phillies chants like in their Washington National Stadium. And obviously the Nationals Reddit page took offense to that.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I'm tired of people like acting like this is out of the ordinary for Philadelphia.
Facts.
Like
this is anticipated. You should know better.
Yes, exactly. Like if you're going to sell your tickets,
they're trying to get
and it's something close,
out of you.
Philadelphia will be there, and they will chant. They will do Eagles chants, especially after they won the Super Bowl, and like they're gonna chant for whatever team is there. And I'm sorry, but you're not going to be buying tickets to our stadium. You're just not. Not
Yeah, yeah, no,
not
no.
in the pure numbers that you're going to get when we
Yeah.
travel to other
There's too
stadiums.
many. Philly's too condensed too. You just get people that are
Yes.
like, I don't have anything to do tonight. Let me go down there. Like,
Yeah.
let me go watch Sixers tonight on a Tuesday because it's right down in Central
Yeah.
Philadelphia. Like, yeah, you're just there in a few minutes. So.
Yeah. I just like I said, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people being like,
I'm tired of you guys not
like-
knowing that we're pieces of shit. Just
Yes.
acknowledge it, God damn it! Why is this a surprise to you?
Yes.
This is who we are.
yeah.
We've done
Like,
this.
Yeah, I guess that's my point. Is
Yeah.
we've done this in the past. We will
Yes,
continue to do
this
it
is
again.
who we are.
And like get
used
your
to
shit
it.
together and be
Yeah,
better
this is-
or
this
get
is who
over
we
it.
are.
Like stop
Seeing
bitching about it.
Seeing news articles to be like, can you believe these Eagles fans? Yes,
Yeah,
I can.
right,
Yes,
yes.
yes, I absolutely can. That's the whole point.
Yes. So speaking of Washington, the other team in the city, the Capitals, and Alex Ovechkin specifically, he did score another goal the other night. So that puts him 5 goals away. He has 890 goals in his career, 5 goals away from taking over with 9 games left.
Half a whole game. Come on.
Yeah. And so with that, a lot of the sports books have released their odds. So I'm currently looking at the ESPN Bet sports odds just because I'm on ESPN's website. But they're talking about you can bet on basically which team it'll be against. So like he doesn't score it at all in the regular season, or what team in the next 9 games does he get it against. So the current favorite odds are the Blue Jackets, which schedule wise are April 12th and 13th, which would be game 4 and 3 left. So yeah, so that's 5 games from now. They're the current favorites at plus 175, going the way down to the Boston Bruins, which makes sense because they play Tuesday night, and so he'd need to score 5 goals against the Bruins to get that, which is not impossible, but highly unlikely. And then you can vote, or you can bet on like how he'll do it. So even strength, power play, or shorthanded, what period or overtime he'll score it in, and will his 895th goal be an empty netter or not. So, yeah, exciting stuff. You and I are degenerates, so we enjoy betting and gambling.
No, facts. Yeah. I enjoy historic moments, and then also the betting of the side of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, oh my god, he took the history. I also made $200 that night. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
fucking it is. Yeah, I remember where I was with the boys. I also made $150 we went to dinner that night. Like, yeah, that's fucking that. Those are 101 all the time.
Yeah. So, exciting stuff for them. But the only other note I have coming out of hockey is I don't know, you might have seen this. So speaking of Alex Ovechkin, Marc-Andre Fleury is probably one of the, for our lifetime, he's definitely up there, but he's probably one of the most prolific goalies in the NHL. Just had a hell of a career. He spent most of his time in Pittsburgh. He was with them for their three-peat or their two-peat, and then they lost, and then they won again. So he was with them for a while and played against Alex Ovechkin a lot. And he now plays for the Minnesota Wild. He was part of the expansion draft. He got taken by the Vegas Knights, so that's what got him out of Philadelphia. And then he's bounced around to a few other teams ever since. Always a great goalie still to this day. He's like, you might recognize the name Martin Brodeur. Yeah, he's just like that dude, just like old and really good at what he does. Old for a hockey player, that is. But he's likely played his last game. So Alex Ovechkin actually stopped his teammates from leaving the ice. Like they were walking down the bench after the game. I was like, no. Come out here. We're lining up and shaking his hand, which is like a very hockey thing to do.
Yeah,
it's like the whole Capitals team lined up to shake hands with just Marc-Andre Fleury. Because
Nice. I love
likely
that.
the last time
I do
they play.
even recognize the game from as far back as you and I playing NHL in the mornings in what a fucking third grade, 4th grade,
something like that.
That's how long it was. He's been playing for 20 years now, right? Like that's about how long, right? That's
Yeah, something like that.
I remember that name
Yeah.
from being at that point, like playing in those years. So, yeah, so that's crazy. Yeah, as soon as you said that, I think the 3-name part of it, the Marc-Andre Fleury, and I was like, I know that name. Like it's Fleury or whatever. And I was like, I do know that. Like, yeah, I recognize that name. When did he start? Are you looking it up right now? When
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, we have been Joe's 5 turning 6 in kindergarten. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we'd have been like 10 years old, like third grade. That's probably about what we've been. So
Yeah,
2003?
2003, 2004 was his first
Yes,
season. Yeah,
yeah, literally. Yeah, so yeah, he would have, yeah,
he
we'd have been a
played
rookie.
21 games that season.
So it probably would have been like the year after. We were probably like a
Yeah,
little bit older, fourth,
like
fifth grade.
NHL '04, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
04, 05. Yeah, that pretty much is what I'm remembering too. That's crazy. Yeah, because I just remember like waking up and being like, yeah, Fleury was definitely on those teams. Like,
yeah,
because I haven't played a whole bunch of other NHL games, so it had to have been those, and I remember that name. So
yeah. So
that's
he's
crazy.
played.
Yeah, good for him.
This is be
I'm a
his
big fan of
20th
his.
season. Yeah, which is just
Yeah, it's
wild to think
wild.
about.
Yeah, fucking. See now, no disrespect to him, but imagine being MVP caliber that whole time. LeBron is fucking insane, dude.
Yeah.
Like that shit is just like Sidney
So-
Crosby who that whole time. Like
Yeah,
that
right.
is just so fucking bananas to just be like, hey, remember when we were children having my mom make us Eggos in a toaster with Nicole?
Yeah.
Yeah. LeBron's been doing MVP shit since then. Like
Yeah.
that shit is just so fucking
Yeah.
bonkers to me.
I didn't realize this, but he was the first overall pick, first round, first pick in 2003 for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
So yeah, so he was good, and that's
Yes.
why I would have remembered him in that draft. Because as soon as I said that, I was like, maybe I'm bullshitting. Because like if he was drafted that year, he wouldn't have been that good. But he obviously
No,
was.
he
Like,
was,
drafted 1-1. So yeah, he had some shit coming out of college, so
Yeah.
or high school.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He played in.
Marc-Andre
He's
Fleury.
born in Quebec, so he probably didn't go to college. He probably just went straight to the
Yeah,
league.
facts. Yeah, they eat, sleep,
But yeah.
fucking shit hockey. All right, well, good hockey updates. Appreciate that. Watching out for Ovechkin. I actually have a little fucking post-it note here on my desk of the Knights. And I was watching tonight, and I was like, oh shit, he scored. And I was like,
Yeah.
so I was only a few away. So
Yep,
I
5
was actually
goals
playing-
away.
Joe was down here earlier getting a snack, and I was in the middle of scratching out. He was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "This is a he's working on something. Never mind." I was like, "I'm not even gonna try to explain it." I was like, "I haven't got to hockey yet with them." I was like, "I'm working sport by sport and
Yeah.
stuff." Dude, I've been outside. We're fine at the point now too, where like we're throwing footballs and stuff, and like Joe can actually throw a football.
Okay.
And so it's like, yeah, Joe can like pull back and throw it, and, like land it to me. So like we're just like throwing football in little triangles and like stoving fingers, and Joe dropping down and be like, "Oh, it hurts so bad." I'm like, yeah, it's only gonna happen like 813,000 more times. Get the fuck
Oh my
up, like
God,
don't
dude.
get up, like it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Get up. It's like now I remember my dad, like Joe. He's now gotten down like the basics of catching to the point where like I'll throw a ball and he'll jump for no reason. Like he's
Oh, yeah.
jumping for toe tipping catches for no reason, but I'm throwing it right in the numbers. And he's like, I'm like, dude, you dropped it because you jumped. Stop jumping. He's like, it helps me catch better. I'm like, okay,
It doesn't.
dude, I remember doing that, but whatever, it's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, you need to work on your one-handed catches there, Odell, but it's fine. But yeah, so yes, that's been fun. But speaking of which, college football, Penn State, a lot of the teams are now cutting out spring games.
Yeah.
Matt Rule, the old coach of the Panthers, and now I believe Nebraska, he was quoted in saying that like spring games are basically like an audition for other teams to come in and take your players now.
Yeah.
Like we're in an open market in college. NIL is a thing. There's signing bonuses essentially. Like, why would I put on a spring game and have my people play well and have other colleges be like, cool, we have 2 or 3 months to go get that kid? Like,
Yeah.
no. And so a lot of people are canceling it. Credit to James Franklin. A lot of people at Penn State feel how you do about him, whether positive or negative, but he
Mostly
basically made the
negative.
acknowledgement, mostly negative. He made the comment about like as real as you could get about it to be like, look, like I know even the bars and the hotels and the restaurants in the area benefit from this stuff. Like the spring game is the number one
Right.
thing. It's part of like the discussions of the board meetings for revenue and stuff. Like how much are we going to make at the spring game? So like it's part of something that they consider. So kudos to them for still holding it. I put it in my calendar. It is coming up in April. They're not going to televise it though, so that way if you
Okay.
want to scout it and you want to steal their players, you got to show up. You got to go to Happy Valley and steal their players.
Good for
Manually,
them.
like the good old days. So yeah, good for them. Still putting on the show.
Yeah.
They're not going to have a halftime because they felt like they made a mention to it where they were like, look, Happy Valley's a fun place. We're like one of the number one tailgating colleges in the country. Halftime, everyone would just leave. So they were
Yeah.
like, the second half of the spring game, no one was paying attention to the game, which typically the first half is like kind of dead. People are still getting there late and then they pay attention, but the spring
Yeah.
game turned into a party, so everyone watches the first half and is like, yay, football's here, time to go get drunk. So they're like, we're not going to do a 20-minute halftime, we're going to shorten the quarters, we're going to run through it and just kind of have a game still.
Nice.
But it'll be like a party. It's going to be kind of
Yeah.
a spring game in the essence of it, not just another football game. So
Yeah.
cool for them to do that. I have this fucking dumb ass baby shower for this girl I barely know that day. It's my sister. I literally was looking at the calendar earlier. I saw it. I typed in PSU spring game. I'm reading all about it, getting the James Franklin quotes and everything. And I'm like, cool, can't believe they're doing it. Type it in. I go to the calendar. I scroll down. I add it to the events. And then I pop out. I go, what else I got going on today? And I'm like, oh, like some random bingo and something else. And fucking Rand's baby shower. God damn it. I'm like, there's no way I'm making it to their spring game this year because then I'm going to be like, all right, boys, tell me we got to leave. Let's sneak out quick. Like, I was like, I'm definitely not getting it there. So,
Yeah.
So I might have to pay for that one. But, so Penn State spring game coming up. It's going to be small, but like I said, James Franklin, his quote was basically understanding the necessity of it. So, good for him. And the only other thing I really saw, go ahead.
I would love to see colleges take a book out of the Harlem Globetrotters and spring games, invite everybody in the stands, just invite them down to the field and just do like meet and greets, autograph with
like
players.
You talked about,
like
hell yeah.
that would be so.
You'll
cool.
buy my boys Penn State fans for life. Like
yes,
they already
exactly.
are, but you give them that where they have an autograph and a thing about that. Abdul Carter signed my ball one day, and now I watch him play for the Eagles. Like they will be locked in for life. Like absolutely. That shit too. Where like I'm guilty of it in my own life of always being like, oh, doors open at 5:30, game start at 7. Right away, I'm like, all right, we can get there at like 6:30, be good to go, blah, 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 blah.
Right,
like, now with the kids, I'm more like, I'm getting my money's worth, first of all. Second of all, there's more of a chance of them meeting somebody, getting an autograph, bumping into somebody, whatever. We were going to go to the Grove on Friday, and one of my friends, her husband, raced it. Yeah, I'm still wearing my Friday outfit. It's fine. My Chad Trout shirt. Got me a Sprint Kart Racing shirt. Never would have thought you'd see the day. Yeah, so my friend Jessie Hershey, she worked in the Members First. She's fantastic, but her husband is Chad Trout, who races in all those. So she had texted me. I was like, me and the boys are coming. If you still want to meet my crazy kids, because she met them when they were like babies. And I was like, if you still want to see the updates on how crazy they are and how mini-me they are, and I was like, we'll come by. And she was like, oh, I really hope you guys can stay late. That way you can come down to the pits and like check the car out and see the garage and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, my kids don't go to bed. We'll see you after the race. And they got canceled for rain. But regardless, things like that exposure to stuff and just getting out and doing stuff, it's super, super important. Yeah. So we'll more or less try to get to the spring game, but we shall see. But other than that, only other college football news I really saw this week was Deion Sanders signs a 5-year extension. Didn't see that coming. Kind of feels like the Myles Garrett extension, where it's like, cool, you signed the contract, but who's actually going to be paying for that contract? Like, are you actually staying in Colorado to get paid, or is this a short-term thing and then you're out? So I never can pretend to know how contracts and salary caps and all that shit works and stipulations.
Especially when you go to college.
Especially now when you're talking college, you go into the NFL, like. You have Harbaugh, who's under investigation in college, and then goes and gets an NFL job, and it's like the shit. It's so weird. We're like, you'd think that they're an A-B thing, but they're just two completely separate businesses. They're completely separate. So, so you could sign that deal and then take an NFL job later this year. Who knows? Just like Belichick. So, other than that, though, we're into March Madness. Had a good weekend.
Sure are.
Can't believe 4 1 seeds.
4 1 seeds, yeah.
First time in 17 years? They say 2008 was the last time it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then the 2 seeds as well. Almost
3 out of 4 of them.
Yeah, 3 out of 4, and
so
the
Jay
fourth
Williams
one was a 3 seed. So
yeah, it is not far off. We talked about that off air. That 2 seed of Saint Francis or St. John's.
St. John's,
or maybe that was in the beginning of the episode. But yeah, they were really a Patino. Yeah, they're more of a Patino team and not really the players. And so like, of course, he was going to get them somewhere, but to get to a 2 seed was kind of crazy to start. So
yeah.
But yeah, Jay Williams, one of the ESPN analysts, had picked 1-2 for all 4 or for all Elite 8 teams. He had 1-2 for all 4 brackets. Everyone was like, "Oh, fucking great analysis here," and ended up being 7 for 8. Like had all but St. John's wrong. So it's just kind of crazy. But I saw somebody else who I think it was on the Pat McAfee show where they were talking about it, where it was like, is this the end of like Cinderella teams because of the NIL people coming in, and if you win as a 15 seed and you get blown out in the second round, your best player that got you that win is off to a real school. They're gone. Like they're gone. Like they're not hanging out to do it again. And they're not good enough for good players to now want to go to that school and make it a destination. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, just your Cinderella teams like might be kind of dead. Like you get that McNeese or that Drake, and then that's it. Like they're not making a run anymore
Right.
because
You're
they
not
just
going
don't
to
have
see
enough
Chicago
firepower.
Loyola. That's there three
Yes,
years in a row. Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah. They're not making an Elite Eight anymore. They're not making a Final Four. Like you, I feel like the next few years we are gonna have Elite Eights with nothing but like 1 through 4 seeds. Like I don't think you're
Yeah.
gonna get a lot of 5 or higher because the teams are just so stocked now. It's like the NBA. Like it's just professional
Yeah.
teams essentially, and so
And I
like
mean,
those guys just
speaking
have
of
better players.
stacked, the games were not particularly close.
No, yeah, those
Like
one
it
seeds
was,
really took care of business. Like
yeah,
in each scenario, like
yeah.
it just was. Yeah, it was a
I think
very
that's what I
cool.
was most disappointed in was that like the games weren't even close. Like,
No, I was kind of zoned out of college basketball today, which is
yeah,
crazy for an Elite Eight day. Like today
right,
and
yeah,
yesterday, I just was like, all right, maybe tomorrow will be better. And I was like, okay, it's not. Like we're
yeah,
still up 15. Like what are we doing?
yeah.
So
So
yeah, it was a weird final, but I mean
I
it's still
mean,
March Madness. I'm still for it. We have four
no,
one seeds battling out now. Now is the time where it's going to be good basketball though, because you have four fucking
right,
heavy hitters playing against each other.
no,
So like,
hundred
give me an
percent,
amazing Final Four.
100%. I agree with you. But like this is the growing pains that you're gonna have to go through with the NIL
NILs and
stuff.
shit. Yep.
And look, football's doing it too, right? Like
Yeah.
it's stuff that's gonna, we're gonna make adjustments, hopefully.
Where's Ashley
Um,
Jetsy go? Boise, yeah, like the
yeah,
days of the Boise States being a 4 seed or whatever, like they're done already. Like
yeah,
they had their one and done, and now they're gonna be like, okay, let's not fucking do that again. Like or whoever it was, like the seeding situations, like again, like college football was a little different in that they have NIL and a new structure, so like
right,
they're toying with both. But like yeah, regardless, like you said, NIL is gonna start changing things where those players are okay, cool, I can go get paid
yeah.
and go to a new school.
Well,
Like I'm
that's
out.
just like Cooper Flag coming back, potentially.
Hell yeah, he can make
Yeah,
more than he would in the NBA and
yeah,
not play
exactly.
for a dog shit team. Get another fucking national title under his belt.
Yeah,
Like why not?
like,
So
yeah. I guess I'll go see if I can better luck next year with whatever the
yeah,
odds are. Like, yeah,
make money in Duke and just chill. So
yeah. So it is what it is. But moving on, the final four games are next weekend, April 5th, and then what's that? Monday night is the
yep,
championship game.
Saturday and then Monday. Yep,
Yeah. So exciting. I don't know where those games are at.
San Antonio this year.
San
Final Four
Antonio.
in San Antonio. Yep.
You
So
already know it.
Yep, Houston's back in Texas.
Yeah. So good for them. This was a crazy women's basketball perfect bracket ruined today with UCLA beating LSU. They got 57 of 58 games played correct.
That's crazy. Did you
Um,
see the one the other day that was right all but they forgot to pick the championship?
oh no, I didn't. I missed that.
2 days ago it said that there was like 7 women's perfect brackets in the world. One of them forgot to pick the national championship, and so I thought for sure that was going to be something you had brought up tonight, but when I saw it I
No.
was like, no fucking way. And they just got to the end and forgot to pick the winner between the two. they,
Oh
they
my
did everything else,
goodness.
didn't pick the winner, but they were right all the way up through the Sweet 16
Yeah.
and didn't pick the fucking winner. So it was like, could you imagine being in that spot of being like, I might have a perfect bracket, but it doesn't matter because I forgot to pick the fucking last game.
Yeah.
Like I would be sick to
Damn.
my fucking stomach.
That
Yeah, dude,
sucks.
I was like, that would suck so bad.
I would
Yeah,
say.
that would really suck.
Meanwhile, I'm struggling to get a 4-game parlay correct. So
Facts.
all I want is a couple $100. That's it. Like, not asking for a lot. 4 games. I can't even get those right. And I like pride myself on knowing NFL teams, and I still can't get those games right. So, is what it is. But moving right along, college basketball crown, new college basketball tournament this year. It's essentially a competition to the NIT. It starts tomorrow, which is why we're bringing it up. Um, the NIT is going on as well, and neither of us particularly care about that. But
If you didn't make the tournament, I don't care.
right,
I like that they do it, but like, don't televise it. Don't tell me about it. Don't tell me who won. Like, I don't care at all.
right,
Like, I
yeah.
don't care.
Good for
That's
you
the
guys.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Participation, practice, tournament vibes.
If I went to that college,
pressure.
I'd be hype.
hype as fuck. Even then, no, I don't think I'd care actually. Like if Penn State meant the NIT, I think I would tell the boys that Penn State's season was over. No, yeah, you're right.
you
I
wouldn't.
would root
If
hard
Penn
for
State
them.
had a home game, you would be at it.
I would go. Yeah, I would go.
Yeah.
I would definitely root hard for them. But at the same time, I would know that like this is participation trophy vibes as fuck. Go Penn State! Like yeah, I would definitely be out there cheering. But like in the back of my head, yeah, we are fucking not as good as the 64 or 68 teams that made the tournament. Like yeah, it's fucking it'd be rough, but I'd definitely root. So
yeah.
But so fan of basketball, fan of the idea, but I don't need it televised and all that shit. Like, yeah, the NIT, just do your thing and announce the championship.
So what the Crown does have going for them is they picked a great time. You now don't have a Monday to go into without college basketball.
That is true.
So
that is sweet.
timing-wise, I think they're doing great. For those who haven't heard of this, full transparency, we did have to look it up earlier. But
we thought that they were blended.
Yeah, they invited 16 teams to Las Vegas to basically come play in a 16-team bracket. 8 on one side, 8 on the other. There's some bidding, automatic bids as part of it. But basically, you get the option to go to NIT, or if you get invited to the Crown, you can pick the Crown over the NIT. I don't know that they'll really publicly release the information of who was invited to both and went to one or the other. But I guess you were mentioning
the invites are always weird because some teams could decline an invite to one or the other, and so it gets kind of hairy on those situations.
Yeah, and I don't know that you'll ever truly get that information unless you were insider of one of the colleges, but definitely not about all of them. And if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't even recognize the logos of some of these teams.
No, I had to read the names. I had to read the list. Yeah, no, hell no, I would not have been able to tell you about the
names. I'm just looking at the website, and I don't see the names.
Yeah, no, the Reddit thread I was looking at had the names just typed out in text. Of the 16 that are in the one and 32 that are in the other. So I just because I read it was like Northern Iowa, Loyola, Chicago, like it was just a bunch of random ass fucking teams.
There's a double U, like a U and then a U wrapped inside of it. I have no idea what that college is.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It kind of looks like Utah University, but like Utah's not that. They're the Utes, but I don't know. I don't know who they're playing.
Wait, what is it? UU?
Yeah, double U.
Either UC Riverside, Utah Valley, UAB.
Is it Utah? No.
Utah, UCF, USC. Yeah, I'm reading all the U teams.
Yeah,
USC we know, UCF we know, Utah college basketball. W circle. Yep, Utes. Okay. Utah Utes is a W with a circle.
They just have a different logo for football.
Interesting. Yeah, the football. Well, no, because in this it has like the little Indian logo with like the 2 little feathers hanging off. That's interesting. We have the men's basketball.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. But you're right. That is Utah. The men's basketball logo.
Yeah, they have like a different. Yeah, it's like 2 U's. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
like Utah
playing
Utes.
Butler. Yeah, that's them.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry to sidetrack, but so yeah, just a little competition for the NIT. Love to see it. If I'm being honest with you, I probably won't watch it. No. They're all Pacific times, which throws me off because I live on the East Coast. Very elitist of me. Yes. But
East Coast Americans, we've got to be the most central-minded fucking people in the world.
For sure.
If you don't give me this shit in inches and EST, I don't give a fuck. It probably doesn't matter. Fucking, if New York and Miami don't approve of that shit, then I don't fucking approve of that shit. Like, yeah, it's very much so. I remember as a kid thinking, like, why do they put EST on there? Why don't they just tell the time? It was my dad was like, because, like, other people in other places in the world are watching. I'm like, that feels like their problem. Like, it feels like it's the show comes on at 9.
Yeah.
They can figure out the math. I don't care about that.
Right.
Like, it's 9 for us. That's what time it is.
Yeah.
Hollywood should have gone.
It always threw me off when I remember because I was a big CSI and Survivor fan when I was younger. So Survivor comes on at 8, CSI at 9, and I remember learning that like, hey, I'm watching this before the people on the West Coast because they play CBS would play at 8 p.m. Eastern time and like work it off. It was 8 p.m. the whole way across the country.
Right.
And I was like, you mean like they don't know the results yet? Like that? No. How do they not know? Like who just got voted off the island?
Most of the time, one of the shows that I'm watching, whether it's like 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, or whatever, it's like you're watching at the same time because it's 8 for you, 9 for them, 10, 11, or whatever, vice versa. That's yeah. So it's like that where you're like for football, like
Yes.
it's not at 1 o'clock for everyone. It's 1 o'clock for us. But it's fucking 11 a.m. for them. Like
Yeah.
that's so fucking crazy. Or 10 a.m. for California. Like
Right.
that's insane to me.
Yeah.
That kickoff is
Hawaii
at 10
waking up at
a.m.
9 a.m., 8 a.m. to
10
watch
a.m.
football.
kickoff. Like if I live in Los Angeles, I'm a famous movie star. And you tell me I gotta wake up at 10 a.m. on Sundays to watch football. I'm pissed as fuck, dude. I'm going back to New York ASAP. Like, oh my god, I'd be so mad. But yeah, so college basketball, it's hype right now. UFC, nothing too exciting. We've already had those updates. Excited for this next title fight. It's gonna be fun. So for April 12th is the next big one. Other than that, we had a fun NASCAR weekend. Couple of big cautions today.
Yeah. So I'll start off with the truck race. Wasn't particularly impressive. I mean, it was a good race if you're just looking for a race. I did watch most of it, but nothing super dramatic. The Xfinity series though was wild. To the point where they even showed highlights of it during the Cup race today.
Yeah.
So yeah, the crazy stat coming out of the Xfinity race was there's 250 laps in the race, and 102 of them were run under caution, which is the most since 2005. That's just a crazy stat. They just kept wrecking, and like Martinsville's a short track, so like you get one wreck and a dude turns around, and it's 6 to 8 laps under caution minimum. So like just to run that many laps under caution, it felt like I was in a full length iRacing race watching it. Just like sitting there and you're like, okay, let's scroll on my phone for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And then it comes back around
a few times,
and then they go down into turn one and they wreck each other again, and you're like, all right, well, back to my phone. Like, and then the wreck on the last lap, which again, you just go watch the highlights. There was what could have been a fight. There were a bunch of people standing there because the dude just walked out of the infield care center. But just like super intentional, came from like 2-3 car lengths back, just rammed the dude up the track, ended up wrecking both of them, and probably the most hated driver in NASCAR right now, Austin Hill, slips through for the win. So is what it is. The Cup race today, though, if I'm being honest with you, I thought it was boring. I know.
You even said that
there is
Martinsville is just very. It's
yeah.
Slow down. Slow down.
The track itself is really cool. The current setups with the cars and everything just doesn't lend itself well. To the point where like the hype going into the weekend was like, hey, NASCAR brought a softer tire, so like the racing's gonna be better. I guess it was a little bit, but then like you're specifically the end of the race I'm watching, and the top 15 cars are all running within a tenth of a second of each other. And so like when you're running that close together, you're not going to be able to pass without like hitting somebody to knock them up the track so that you can drive by, which like nobody's doing because they don't want to make enemies in the 6th race of the season. So to his credit, Denny Hamlin wins. Arguably one of the coolest trophies in all of motorsports. I don't know if you heard him talk about this, but you get a grandfather clock, like a custom grandfather clock.
Oh, that's sick.
When you win at Martinsville. So like it is one of the premier races to win at.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And so Denny Hamlin gets, I think that's his 4th. And then the 43 of Eric Jones finished 27th and runs for Legacy Motor Club, which is partially owned by Jimmy Johnson. His car was disqualified after the race for not meeting the minimum weight requirements. So he lost some weight somewhere along the lines and gets DQ'd, which is a pretty big penalty for him. Because it's going to be like he's going to lose like 20 points when you're there, fighting over a couple points and that. Next weekend we go to Darlington. Southern 500, which is just a very famous track in NASCAR, and it's throwback weekend, so you get all the cool throwback paint schemes, which is always super exciting to see. So you'll see a lot of those released this week and all that. A few of them have been released already, so looking forward to that. And then just putting it on your radar, now 2 months away at this point, June 28th, NASCAR does like their own March Madness in the middle of the season, where they basically take the top 32 in points, they throw them in a bracket, and do head-to-head each week for 5 weeks.
Nice.
And I think the winner this year gets $1 million. So, yeah. So, Yeah, we'll find out middle of June. They pull the placements, and then the first race will be the next Atlanta race, which, if you remember, they raced out a few weeks ago.
Yep.
What happened in golf this weekend?
Nothing too wild. I forget the name of the tournament already. I was just talking about it. But Minwoo Lee, basically, what the point was, Minwoo Lee hit a putt on the 18th hole of the last round to outlast Scotty Scheffler. So Scotty Scheffler finished pretty well again. I even touched him Scheffler instead of Scheffler. It was just one of those moments too where we talked about last time, like kind of the witnessing greatness, like just watching Scotty do anything at this point. Like he's just so fucking good at golf.
Yeah.
So, like it's just so fun to watch. It's anticipated he's going to be top 2, 3, 4, 5 every fucking round.
Right.
And yet again, he was. Like, he just was out in the lead for a while. So, can be honest, I didn't watch too much of it until the very end and then caught, like, the last few hits. And then Minwoo Lee hit the stroke to seal it, and then the game was over. The round was over. So, yeah, I mean, it's golf season, though. I'm ready for us to go golfing. Like, it's here.
Yeah.
It's almost nice enough. Like, yeah, we're in it now.
I
did...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I've reached a point in my golfing career where I need new clubs. I should say.
I'm probably there soon.
Well, okay. So like, listen, my clubs are hand me down. I'm like, look, when I started my new job, I was like, my boss wants to golf, and like, look, I'm always willing to golf, but like, I don't have clubs. Like, I always just went to a driving range and took like a club with whoever I was with. Smack a ball around. Like, so like, I probably argue like. 3 or 4 years ago, started getting like a little bit serious about it, where I was like, all right, so I got hand-me-down clubs, and like I'm now at a point where like my skill level is being hindered by the clubs I have because they're just simply not tall enough for me. I'm a fairly tall guy. And
you
like
have long ass arms too.
Yeah. And so like my boss is a very good golfer. Like it's called scratch, right? When you're like par.
At par, yeah, you're a scratch golfer.
Yeah, that's like him. Like he's like maybe a 1, maybe a 2 handicap on like a bad day or at the beginning of the season. But yeah, he's really good. And like, so I'm golfing with him, and he's like, "Yeah, you need new clubs." He's like, "Those clubs are way too short for you." Like, he's like trying to instruct me to do things that I just can't do because I have to. Yeah, because like I have to like squat to like get the ball down, and like, and his biggest thing is like you're topping every ball because the club's not long enough, so I'm just hitting every ball.
Standing up when you're trying to hit, you're just rolling them off.
Yep, exactly. So, it's what it is. But yeah, I'm excited to hopefully get new clubs. Maybe make that investment in my life. We'll see. What comes first, golf clubs or an Xbox? Since you have, as I say, you have so much input in both of them.
Yeah, I've invested interest in the Xbox because like you could have a stick with a fucking cardboard piece tied to the end of it. I'm still gonna have a good day golfing with you. Like I don't care if you shoot 150, I'm out there golfing against myself. So, like, you couldn't even swing a golf club all day, and I'd give a fuck. So, like, hey, we're still AJ golfing today. Like I wouldn't care if you swung a golf club at all. That's you. So yeah, so for you to get golf clubs though, that's a you purchase. I'm okay with that. I approve. I'm okay. I'll approve this in the HR budgeting. But yeah, Xbox.
I'll put my PO request in.
Yeah, there you go. Deny. But yeah, that was one where when I started, I bought certain accessories that I knew would outlast until I got good. My golf bag. I spent $200 and some on that nice white Nike golf bag from a Nike sled, and I just was like, this is the one I want no matter what.
Right.
As I upgrade, I don't ever want to have to switch my setup. Like, let me build my setup and then upgrade clubs as I go.
Yeah.
And then that was the first thing I did is I went to Dick's and bought the cheapest basic top flight set of golf clubs and then just sold the bag online for $20 or whatever. And someone was like, I'll take it. I need an extra bag. And I was like, take this shit. I don't want it. It was like that digital camo print. And then I got the Nike bag. And it was like, this is what I want. And then, so I have shit clubs, but a really nice bag and really nice golf shoes and shit like that. And so now I will upgrade one club at a time. That's my anticipation. Like I told Kaylee, I was like, every year on Father's Day, like that's just what I want. Like get me a new driver, get me a new pitching pitch, get me a new iron, get me a new
your way through the clubs.
Yes, exactly. Like I wanna go to Dick's and get them fitted and feel right. And I just was still bad where she, like, last year, they do a club, and I was like, no. I was like, I do not feel good enough yet. Like, the only one I would want would be, like, a putter because I'm not swinging it as hard, so I'm not going to damage it or fuck it up or break it.
Right.
So it's like, if you got me a putter that I really loved, I would buy into that because then, like, I could practice putting in the yard. I could practice putting at the drive. Like, go over to Rich Valley and just practice putting all day. And that's my putter, and I know that. Driving, like, I'm not confident that I know how to drive yet. So to buy me a driver is dumb. Like I'm just
Yeah.
out there whacking an expensive driver when I don't know what I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
a putting is a little bit different. It's more of a comfort
Yeah, you
thing.
gotta
So
whack a new driver and pop the head right off. Yeah.
exactly. So good on that. But so I'm the same though. That like clubs will be the next thing. That'll be one of the more fun things that I buy for myself over the next year
Fair
or so.
enough.
Is just slowly implementing some clubs.
Yeah,
Stuff,
it's
so.
exciting that we're getting older and can make these purchases.
Yeah, I love it. It is really cool. We're both in the middle of job switches, but it's fine. I'm gonna
Yeah.
buy some clubs anyway. Fuck it.
You only live
YOLO and
once.
such. Yeah. Oh, what a perfect clip. That was awesome. YOLO and such with the you only live once. I love it. I don't have too much of anything else, but while clicking on some shit, I did find out that Penn State's men's hockey is in the Final Four.
Yes, they did win their regional in Atlanta, so they're
that's
going
a
to the
thing.
Frozen
Yeah, so,
Four.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're going to
I
the
forgot entirely
Frozen
about
Four.
that.
Yeah, the Frozen Fours. Yeah, I saw that and was like, oh shit, let me get some tickets. St. Louis, never mind.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Penn State will be at home, and I was like, why would I have thought that? Duh, it's a
I should have
Final
told you
Four.
because they were in the regional in Allentown.
I think you did, or at
Regionals
some
in
point you had
Allentown.
told me recently about Penn State hockey because we had talked about it at the time that you obviously gave us the tickets to go, and then I think you had brought it up recently about it, and I kind of just put it off, and I saw it, and I was like, damn, they're in the Final Four. That's kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
hopefully that's on TV because I'll let the boys they'll watch that, and anything Penn State related they're locked into.
It'll
now,
definitely
so
be on
it
because
should
Penn
be on,
State's
so.
local.
Right. Yeah,
I
it should
think
be somewhere,
ESPN broadcasts the Frozen Four too. So,
so. Cool.
give me a number 1 to 25 because I can't decide.
125. Give me number 1 since all 4 1 seeds made it to the Final
All
Four.
right. Fun fact for today to wrap up our episode: Morocco was the first nation to recognize the United States independence from the British.
Morocco was the first to acknowledge our independence from
Yeah,
the
so
British?
when a country or a nation declares their independence, it's up to other countries to recognize that independence. So
okay. I was like, why the fuck
when we
do
signed the
care what they
Declaration
think?
of
But they were the
Independence,
ones that were like,
Morocco was the
country.
first one to be like, "Yep, that's the United States now. It's no longer Britain's."
So we had some shit on their owner's head or their leader's head. We were like,
well,
acknowledge us, bitch. He was like, yep, country it is.
I figured you would go into this, so I did a little pre-research about it.
Yeah, why?
So actually, it's because Morocco had a deal with the British that they wouldn't basically attack the ships for shipping. So basically, like a truce between shipping, like piracy. And so as soon as America was like, hey, we're independent, Morocco was like, yep, we recognize you. No longer British ships. We're going to go.
We're going to rob your shit.
Yeah.
We're going to take your shit.
Yeah.
Let them be. They're on their own.
Yep.
That's hilarious. They said, no, they're fine. We're going to take their shit.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know exactly how the piracy went down after that, but that was supposedly the main reason why.
That's actually awesome. I love that.
So yeah, that wraps up our fun fact for the day. Anything else for us, son?
Nope. I believe that is all I got.
All right. Well, we're having a great Monday here. We'll rock out the rest of the week. If I'm being honest with you, it's a pretty slow sports week. So
yeah,
we'll
we're in some.
We'll see you Thursday, and we'll scrounge some shit to talk about. We'll have a tush push vote. Maybe some hockey. Hopefully, Ovi gets another goal or two.
Maybe we'll do like an
NBA.
iRacing episode for Thursday. Maybe that'll be it.
Yeah.
Maybe that could be our
We could do
iRacing
something
episode.
like that, yeah.
That'd be fun. You can do some teaching.
Yeah, we can watch a race together or something like that.
Yeah.
Watch some idiots run around the track. Anyways,
It's us. We're the idiots.
enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the rest of your week.
GG's.
And we'll
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later.
GG's.